Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how to make the easiest raised bed planters you will ever make. A couple years ago, I showed you how to make some raised bed planters with a bottom on them, but today I'm going to show you how to make some raised bed planters that are going to be sitting on the ground. Let me show you the ones that I made a couple years ago. I will link that video if you want to make something like this. So I showed you how to make some raised bed planters like this that have a bottom on them. I have these just sat on some dry stacked bricks. These have held up really well for me over the years. Let's head over to my client's house. I'm going to show you how to make some raised bed planters that just sit on the ground. We're going to swing by Home Depot and I'm going to show you exactly what you need. So let's go to Home Depot. These are actually really cool. They're only $3.38 a piece. So they're like basically a cement cinder block. But your 2x goes in here and these are your corners. So you can stack them on top of each other. These are 6 inches. So you can stack one on top of each other and do a 2x12. Which is what I'm gonna do. But these are super cool. They're very sturdy, very heavy. There's a hole in the middle if you want to put rebar. I don't think we're gonna need to do that for this project, but it's there if you did want to drive some rebar through the middle to reinforce it into the ground. So I was having trouble finding really good lumber at either Home Depot or Lowe's, like big box stores like that. So if you do have trouble finding good lumber, look for local lumber yards. This is a local lumber yard near me. The quality of the wood is really great. It's the same price. They're actually cutting it for me right now, which is great. So I'm using 2x12s. They came in 14-foot sections. So since I'm building 4 garden boxes, I got the 14-footers cut down into a 6-foot and 2 4-foot sections. Thank you. However big you want to build your boxes, just keep in account that for each box you need 4 pieces of wood. You need 2 of the long side and 2 of the short side if you're building them not square. I will leave the specific measurements of what I had cut in the description bar below if you want to make exactly the same type of thing that I did. So you're going to stack your 2 blocks, get your 1 board in first, and then it's literally super easy. You just start kind of putting your sides on. Since this ground is pretty flat, these aren't going to go anywhere. You can drive some rebar through the middle of here if you want to make sure that these are super secure to the earth. But for this project, we don't really need to do that. Something to keep in mind is the distance between your boxes. I'm doing 3 feet between each part of the box. So I'll be able to get in like a little push mower through here or a weed whacker. But just keep them 3 feet and 3 feet, just so it's a little bit easier to maneuver, especially when you're trying to cut the grass. So now that I have all 4 of my garden boxes kind of set, you can go in. I'm just missing one little corner block over there. But you can go in if you want them to be perfectly level and take a shovel or a Collins axe and kind of trench out where your wood is going to sit or where your corners are going to sit and get a little level like this and just make it level that way. Now let's talk about if you're putting your raised beds on top of grass. Now the best thing would have been to mow this down as short as possible, but I don't have a mower here. So I'm going to bring over my weed whacker and mow down as short as possible in there. Now, since these raised beds are going to be 12 inches, there's going to be 12 inches of soil inside the planter. The grass is not going to be getting any sunlight, so the grass will be smothered out by the soil. So if you're doing a 12-inch raised bed, you don't necessarily have to dig out all the grass. Mow it down. You can put cardboard down. You could even put plastic down. I'm going to be weed whacking this pretty short, and I'm going to be putting cardboard down just to help kill the root system of the grass so we don't have grass growing up through our veggies. If you are going to be doing anything less than a 12-inch depth, you do need to take out the grass, or you're going to be having grass grow right up through all of your vegetables. So keep that in mind. One more suggestion, if you're having a hard time finding good pieces of 2x12, you can do like a mix and match of different depths. The slot in here is 2 inches, so make sure you get your wood that is 2 inches wide. But you could do like an 8-inch piece and then a 4-inch piece. Wouldn't recommend doing 6 inches and 6 inches because the seam of the double stacked block is at 6 inches. You're going to want something that can go past the seam just to kind of keep these together. Or you could do like a 10-inch and then like a 2-inch, and the top you could do it in a different type of wood. So that could be like a little design detail. Let's talk about soil options here real quick. I am using a raised bed garden soil. This is by the brand Bonnie. There are a ton of different brands out there that make a raised bed garden soil. The great thing with this is you don't have to mix it in with any compost or anything else. It's already kind of pre-mixed for you. It's good to go. This is really good soil. It smells really rich. It's nice and fluffy. It's going to be perfect for all of your plants. Now, going with a bagged soil, it's not going to be the most economical choice. You can get soil delivered from like a local landscaper, and you order it by yard. That would be way cheaper to do it that way, but that's going to require you to do a lot more physical labor from like, if they delivered it, they would probably deliver it over there. Then I would have to shovel it into a wheelbarrow and then bring the wheelbarrow over here and dump. So if you have a trailer or something where you can pick up bags and just drive it to the spot you're delivering it to, that is way easier. Not as cost effective, but this is the way my client wanted to go because he is paying me for my time. So it's actually more cost effective for me to just get the bags, drive them over, put them in, then load a wheelbarrow and bring it over every single time. Also look in your local municipality. A lot of the times they have free compost available. There's a town near here that does have a lot of free compost available where you can go and pick it up. And if you have a trailer or something like that, that's a really good option as well. Just check out your town because I didn't know we had that for the longest time, but that's a really great option. So to calculate how much soil you're gonna need, you're gonna have to figure out how many cubic feet you need. So for example, this is a 4 foot by 6 foot by 12 inch, a 1 foot bed. So for here, you times length, times width, times height, and you'll find your cubic feet. But if you're doing it in inches, make sure you divide it by 12 so you can get down to cubic feet. You're going to be working in cubic inches, and it's going to be a lot. So for this, we needed 24 cubic feet. So see here, it says 1.5 cubic feet. So for 24 cubic feet, we need 16 bags. And when you're adding your soil in, you don't want it to go like all the way up to the edge. You don't want it to be like packed high like that because you need some space for mulch. So leave yourself a good, like 2 inches around where you can put your plants in, and then you can put a good like 2-inch layer of mulch around your plants. Mulch is a great way to help your soil retain moisture and also to keep the weeds out. So mulch is your friend. So keep in mind, if this is your first time building a garden, there is going to be some upfront investment, but this is an investment that's going to last you for many years to come. Your soil is going to be an investment in the beginning, but each year all you need to do is just amend the soil with some compost. So next year and the year following, it's not going to be as expensive as getting all new soil in the beginning. So set yourself up, do a good investment in the beginning with some really good soil. You can also do like your own concoction of garden soil. If you want to buy like the really cheap stuff that doesn't have any nutrients in it for like $3 a bag, and then get some compost. You can get some free compost from your local municipality. Do it that way. But definitely make sure you have just some regular garden soil, like a sifted garden soil, and not just compost. Because if you're trying to plant in just compost, it's going to be too rich and it's actually going to burn the roots of your veggies. So just make sure you have a good mix of soil and you have enough nutrients in the soil by adding compost or getting either like bagged stuff that's already pre-mixed for you, can provide all the nutrients to your little baby plants so they can provide you yummy food. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Now it's the fun part where we get to plant all the plants, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let my client do that because he's really excited about that part. Easiest raised bed gardens you will ever build. These little corner things are amazing. Just, when you're getting your wood, make sure you do not get pressure treated wood because pressure treated has a ton of chemicals in there that will leach into your soil and leach into your food, and we don't want that. So just make sure you get just regular kiln dried wood and not pressure treated. So you can get creative with how you use these blocks and the wood. So this is just a 6-inch depth. So it's 1 2 by 6. And then the little corners, you don't have to use the corners as corners. You can use the corners in the middle as well. So this is a nice little L shape. This little area is going to be so cute once we're done with it. We're going to clean out all back there and put some white pea gravel, and then also put some pea gravel in this little trench right there. So this is going to be so cute. But get creative with your designs. You don't have to do just a square, just a rectangle, or just an L shape. I mean, as long as you got some right angles, you can go crazy and do whatever you want to do.